Welcome back to Nat. Welcome back to Man Down Sports. If this is your first time tuning in, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that like button on your way in. And if you want to be really kind, go ahead and share this content to a friend that you know like the sports. As you can see from the thumbnail, we're talking about Kendrick Perkins and Serge Ibaka. Kendrick Perkins seemed to get himself in a lot of Twitter battles and, little internet beefs. The most famous one he got in was when Kevin Durant was going at it with him. And if you can remember, like I remember, Kendrick Perkins' first time coming on the scene was when KD had first joined the Golden State Warriors, and it was that little beef going between Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. And since Kendrick Perkins had played on the Thunder with Russell Westbrook and Kendrick Perkins, and around that same time he was trying to get his analyst career started and jump started, he was getting invited to a lot of different platforms on ESPN, just specifically to speak on the Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook feud, the feud that just got blown out of proportion. It really wasn't a real feud, but for the internet clicks and for the conversation around the NBA, it got drug out for longer than it should have, right? And it made for good TV when they had the Golden State Warriors playing OKC on marquee nights. I can't remember if they had a Christmas game or not, but it served its purpose. But the point I'm trying to make is Kendrick Perkins got his career started on that type of stuff, right? And Kevin Durant didn't like it. It got to the point where Kendrick Perkins was, just saying stuff, man, just come out of nowhere. One time he said Russell Westbrook was the greatest Thunder that ever played for OKC. Then he kind of leaned into that Kevin Durant soft and cupcake, and then he tried to use his leverage of being in that locker room as reasons for him to be brought on all these different platforms so he can speak on the hottest thing that was in the NBA at the time, which was the beef between Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. I say all that to say this. Since then, he's become like a regular. He got his own podcast with ESPN with Swagoo, Marcus Spears, and he got his own spot on ESPN. He's a regular on First Take. Kendrick Perkins' name is known, and he's kind of like the I guess the clown of the show, kind of like how Shannon Sharp is with Skip, where Shannon Sharp has all the funny things to say. He makes you laugh. He got all these old sayings. It's kind of the same thing. ESPN was like, oh, if Fox can do that, we can get our own guy with Kendrick Perkins and do all that stuff. Kendrick Perkins always makes sure he says something funny or something crazy, which leads us to this whole Serge Ibaka thing. Serge Ibaka didn't like what Kendrick Perkins had to say on First Take this morning. I'm gonna play that for you, and then I'm gonna go ahead and show you how Serge Ibaka responded on Twitter, and then I come back with commentary.
What everybody kept saying, oh, Kevin Durant is only 23 years of age. Russell Westbrook is only 22. James Harden is 22. Serge Ibaka is 21, although he was probably 30 at the time, because we already know how certain individuals lie about their age, but we're not about to get into that.
That's just disrespectful. Now, you can't see from the soundbite, but he was talking to JJ Redick, and when he said the Serge Ibaka might have been 30 at the time, this is when he was supposed to be 21, or when he was 21. Kendrick Perkins made the joke that he was 30 at the time, and JJ Redick just started nodding his head and laughing, and then he come on with the joke saying, because we know certain individuals lie about their age. Now, that's very disrespectful, right? And do I dare say, if you would say that about any other demographic, right? If you was to say something like that about a woman, I don't care if it was a joke, right? We already seen them pull Jalen Rose to the carpet to apologize on national TV for even asking, why isn't this woman name released if she also broke a rule, right? Speaking of the Ime Udoka situation in the Boston Celtics, let's say if you say that and call certain individuals and you're insinuating something about the Jewish community, how would that have went well? So it's okay for Kendrick Perkins to go on national TV and insinuate that not only is Serge Ibaka lying about his age, but also this is a known fact or stereotype for certain individuals, and he's speaking about Africans in general, lying about their age, right? Think about it. Think about that for a reason. We're so desensitized to how you can speak about African Americans or Africans. Remember when Stephen A. Smith was saying all the African names wrong when they beat the USA team in the USA basketball team, and Stephen A. Smith was like, "This is embarrassing. How did you lose to them, African?" He started saying all the names wrong, blah blah blah. You know, you just saying the names wrong on purpose, right? That wasn't seen as disrespectful, right? When you say stuff about Black Americans, it's not seen disrespectful. And now saying something about Serge Ibaka and all of Africa is not disrespectful. Once again, what Kendrick Perkins said. I just want you and notice, no one gasped for, like, no one was like, "Oh my good," nobody grabbed their pearls and was like, "Yo," nobody made Kendrick Perkins apologize. Kendrick Perkins didn't have it on his own heart to apologize. None of that, right? Nothing's going to come from this unless a lot of people make a fuss about it and make something happen out of this, right? But we're so desensitized to it, and it's okay when it's against a Black person or an African person, that we don't make a fuss about it, but just put the shoe on the other foot. And if that was a woman or LGBT community or Asian community or the Jewish community, right? Would that have went that same way? Would it have been okay for Kendrick Perkins to say, "We all know certain individuals," and he was talking about women or talking about LGBT or talking about Jewish, as far as them lying about their age? Would that have went over, right? So I just wanted to make that point first, but let me get to Kendrick Perkins and his response to it. And he responded via Twitter. I'm just going to put all his tweets up here, and starting from left at the bottom. Serge Ibaka said, "Hey, Kendrick Perkins, I count my blessings every day, and I don't usually react to comments about me, but it's disappointing to hear someone I shared a locker room with spreading misinformation to be relevant and get views on TV and social media." Remember, at the beginning of this, I said his relevance came when he had inside locker room, or what we thought was inside scoop on the locker room, as it pertained to OKC Thunder, because he was there, and that's why they kept bringing him on the show, and that's what got his name out there. Because, hey, look, I can speak on this Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook thing all day long. I was there, right? And they just spurred up a bunch of drama with Kendrick Perkins. That's how he got his relevance. And here's Serge Ibaka already insinuating that same sentiment that I had, right? You know, you're trying to be relevant, you're trying to get views on TV. Then he goes to say on the next tweet, "You can talk about my game if I don't play well. I will never have a problem with that, but to talk extra for no reason is really not acceptable. It is disrespectful to me. I feel like it is disrespectful to many Africans who have to live with the unfounded accusation." And this has been a known joke or known belief about some that say that Africans lie about their age. And we know this happens a lot in baseball. A lot of people from South America have been caught falsifying birth certificates and getting kids over here in the minor leagues who say they're 17, 18, but they're really like 21, 22. That's been documented and been known to have happened, right? So I think where the stereotype came with Africans in the NBA is with Mutombo, where I think they said that he didn't have a birth certificate, so he didn't know exactly what his birth date was, right? So the joke was, he might have been 5-10 years older than what he really was. And I used to laugh at that joke when I was a kid too, but now being a grown up, I understand, that's very offensive, right? That's very offensive, especially when you generalize everyone and say all the Africans are known to lie about their age. I don't care if you was joking about it or not, Kendrick Perkins. You threw it out there on national TV on a huge platform, right? You can't do that to any other demographic. Like you got to think about that stuff. You got to be cognizant of that stuff. You just can't throw stuff out there. The third tweet. If I was 30 in OKC, I guess I'm 45 now. The truth is I never lie about my age, and I work extremely hard every day without cheating, and I have never been suspended. Everyone in the league knows that you cheated and didn't respect the game. I don't know exactly what he's talking about with that, but I'm looking at Serge Ibaka and how well he kept his body up. He was always in shape. And I think he's saying, look, man, I work hard every day on this body. Kendrick Perkins got that baby mama body. I don't know how hard he was working, but I know he did look good when he was in Boston, as far as being in shape. He got to OKC, he looked very bad, right? So maybe he needed a little extra oomph to kind of get back in shape to get on the court. And maybe he's insinuating that Kendrick Perkins cheated and took something, especially when he's saying something about being suspended. So I don't know. That's another story for another day. All right, the bottom right. Although I am disappointed, I am not surprised to see these actions from someone who got his job by breaking the locker room code and by spreading lies about two of his former teammates and brothers like KD and Russ. This is exactly what I was talking about. Kendrick Perkins got his breakthrough by giving what we thought was inside scoop locker room stuff on KD and Russ, and Serge Ibaka is saying that it is lies. I got to put a link in the description from a podcast I did 2, 3, 4 years ago, maybe, when I was talking about how I think Kendrick Perkins is lying about this stuff. And Kevin Durant even have tweets saying you're lying. You're lying. So now I hear Serge Ibaka saying you're lying. You were lying then. You were lying then. That's how you got your breakthrough. Then he says, when KD had a bad game, you criticize him behind his back. And when Russ had a bad game, then you criticize him. You were not a locker room leader, and then you continued doing the same in the media. This is crazy. Serge Ibaka is really airing him out. The last tweet, I understand everyone needs to do their job and take care of their families, but you are proof not everybody knows how to do it with class and dignity. I have more to say about you, but I am not that kind of person. But this time, you went too far. Hey, it's not a lot more for me to say. The tweet said everything. I said what I had to say at the beginning. Kendrick Perkins is a shame. It's really a shame, man. And he's following that Stephen A. Smith blueprint on how to be relevant and stir up drama at work. He's got a name at ESPN. I hope he enjoys everything ESPN can get him, but he's burning bridges left and right, man. Like, that was uncalled for. Just apologize. Just say you was wrong. Go on national TV tomorrow and apologize. Don't turn Serge Ibaka into the next guy that you're going to have a war at and go at constantly for the rest of his career like you're doing Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Right? You can't even be brothers to them for real, because you done said so much bad stuff and so many lies about them that it's just crazy. But yeah. Serge Ibaka, I believe everything he said in that tweet, especially from Serge, right? But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. How y'all feel about Kendrick Perkins? You think he's lying, or you think Serge Ibaka is really lying about his age? Let me know what you think.